The Titans look to close out their season with a chance to move up in the standings and the potential to select their first-round opponent when the Overwatch League playoffs begin September 3rd. I'm your host, Abby Sherlock, and let's see how this all plays out in Titans this week. The Titans have nothing to lose and everything to gain as they look to increase momentum to end the 2020 season. With 2 games against the Boston Uprising and the LA Valiant respectively, the Titans have a chance to move into the 11th seed in NA, allowing them to select one of the Washington Justice, Houston Outlaws, or Boston Uprising to play in the first round of the qualifying bracket. With the first task being against the Boston Uprising, the Titans look to continue their dominance over them from the last match they had. The game plan was simple: shut down Jerry and you shut down Boston. Would this be easier said than done, however? Let's find out in our Titans recap.
Bright blue in this case. Jerry on the high ground looking for the flank. Nice little combo with Color Hex. However, Jerry's still up on the high ground. Someone needs to kill him, or at least drag him back down. There we go. But the damage really is already there. Kaka, Shredlock, and Dalton end up going down. There will be Boston capping the point.
Yeah, you see Shockwave dropping a little LOL in the chat there. That's because
potentially, and even Punk with the Flux is going to dish out some major damage as soon as they get rid of those turrets. Someone needs to kill the turrets, by the way. Fusion was just getting owned. Like, there were 2 turrets just looking at him, just doing so much damage, and then the Sim, of course, just shooting through the shields. Ideally there, you want Punk or Kulhex just fire a few left clicks just to... Oh no, the tire, this finds one, it might just be all over. He's hunting for Jerry, but doesn't quite find him, and Halo's already dead. Shockwave sends the tire into the back line. Immortality Field is broken, but so it's Fusion's. Unfortunately now, Boston Uprising don't really have a front line to deal with, or to deal with Vancouver Titans, in fact, and hey, they got ults to spare too. They can chuck out the window, but they don't even need it. Flux and Beat, we're still forced out so much, in fact. Fusion's had to press shift, and the Immortality Field was used also, but they're going to have to save their own Orisa. Shredlock going fairly low, but Shockwave falls first, and now it's in a good position for Uprising. They can basically just hold W here, no fear of anything else. And I like the Kree in these comps, by the way, I will say that. The Kree obviously with the flashbang. To continue to cast today if we can, and nice wall to block off Jerry's angle. Oh, well, Kaka peeked around the wall, he wondered what was going on around there. Double glaze he's put up on the high ground, but it doesn't matter because Dalton finds 3 people. That was a beautiful off-angle hex from Uprising there, trying to get a lot of damage down, but that was because the rest of Boston Uprising are frozen. Beautiful Flux, however, even more beautiful rock there from Punk's going to open up with a Flux of his own. Shockwave's going for cover as he tries not to get Flux and taking an off-angle. He takes out Myungbong. Halo's already dead as well. So Boston Uprising now, no healers at all. So they're going to have to make do with the health pool that they do have. They decide to reset. Shockwave tries to get the last hit on Punk there to get the ult charge, but it doesn't end up working out. Kill Jerry. He didn't actually receive the beat as Halo marches everybody forward. Fusion's frozen up and end up killing off, and that Bob sitting at the front of the point as well, just forcing Boston Uprising to split. The Titans, they're at 95%. They've won this team fight. They've got ults coming up as well. Punk's going to fall down last, and that will be the Titans, unless someone from the Boston Uprising in touch. It's Myungbong, but he gets quickly dealt with. OT's ticking down, and the Titans are going to claim map 1. Halfway around the world, Shockwave as well, it feels like, but being able to adapt like this and find kills, that's unfortunate right there. Being able to adapt is just kind of crazy. Beautiful bubble actually there to get the res up there. Kaka. It's actually, they just wore off, so if he can get a pick, they definitely can, and they're going to go after it, but a beautiful sleep. Ain't happening. Kaka's going to go down. However, that bio grenade is going to land straight on the head of Shredlock, and he's got Primal Rage coming up, but Shockwave manages to find the kill onto Jerry, but again, Halo is right there in the wings waiting for the res. Boston Uprising still doing a good job of fending off the Titans. 2 minutes remains. Surf the roof there just a little bit. A beautiful EMP though coming out from the Titans. Jerry and Color Hex in a lot of trouble now, same with Halo. Luckily he popped the wings to start off the fight though, so he's still able to get around to the rest of his team, but the damage is there. The tanks have been killing off the front line before Halo and Myungbong could heal them up. Dalton fix free, and that will be it. Finally, the payload is going to use the nano boost to make sure that fight does end up happening, but Punk ends up getting slept. It's not a good look at all for the Uprising right now, as Punk also gets naded. The EMP is going to just rip through the Boston Uprising, and this is going to be the second point as well from the Titans. Boston Uprising, all they needed to do there was stabilize, but it was just a play from the Titans there. They ended up sleeping Punk as he was nanoed, and then they had Shockwave up on the high ground Hex, just clicking heads. Is there anything really to lose? He's trying to kill Halo. He eventually does it. The nano boost went on to Color Hex to try and stall out for a little bit longer, but I don't think it's going to happen. Even with Karkar going down, this looks almost inevitable. Shredlock holding the doors. Youngpunk does find a kill to Rob, though. In fact, this might be winnable, Hex. I take it back. Both supports are dead. A little bit of a clown fiesta towards the end, but 3 seconds remains in the Titans time bank. It doesn't matter.
Off the generally free push of Car Wash, the fact that, you know, Boston or Vancouver is even defending a little bit of that. Well, that opens things up for Shockwave.
That was cheating.
Not having to worry about the opposing Widow is nice.
Shredlock was assisting there with the kill onto Jerry, but I would have preferred oncoming aggression. However, Dalton sitting on an EMP of his own, managed to build this one up, launches it out, does get slept in the end, but Fusions and Punk get hit. That bio grenade as well was huge in the assistance of killing off Fusions, and now it's this final fight territory for the Boston Uprising to try and land it on first point.
Wolf out of that EMP so that you can get a stall out in either Primal. Oh, that hurts.
That hurts, man. Oh, he had sights up too, so he knew exactly where he was. Oh man,
they're turning it, and
good.
they rezzed it too, so it's not terrible.
And Jerry. No, this is it. This is surely it. Karkar goes for the res, and he manages to actually get shot out just in time. KSA is coming back on the ball for some additional stall power, but Jerry, he's got the Widow, and he's got the kill. Karkar ends up falling. One less healer now to deal with as the Titans, they end up falling eventually. Shredlock and KSA trying their best to stall on point, but you can't mess with Jerry, who finds 2 of his own.
Yeah, the anti-heal takes down Shredlock, and that'll be all she wrote as Color Hex comes pops Valk, but then they slept him on the high ground, and Jerry was able to clean up that kill. And Jerry is just
Jerry
one of the best pure aimers we have.
Ooh,
Aimer gamer.
That was sick. And you can see exactly why. Shockwave does have sight, a beautiful jumping headshot onto Myungbong. I do not believe Boston Uprising actually have a res, and another shot onto Jerry. Can he make it a third? He's going in. He doesn't care. He's in the back line. He eventually gets killed off by Halo. Point clears it off the Titans, but it's up to Jerry now to try and subdue the supports and subdue Shockwave for long enough. But he ends up going to the payload to try and stall for some additional time. EMP's going to come out as well. There's the self-destruct, and there's the win for the Titans. Match point in the series as they take watch.
So there's still potential for a recontest if they put it on the Fusions.
Karkar? What happened there? Collex just walked at him, and Karkar just keels over. Myungbong now has the nano boost, goes straight onto Fusions to try and stabilize the fight. Shockwave has Bob too, but it feels like, yeah, do you want to put it on point and just distract Fusion for long enough? The damage resistance only goes so far. Shredlock and KSA do bite the dust, however, and it's only Bob and, well, Shockwave on the point. And,
Nano boost onto Shredlock, but Myungbong, oh, he goes down as well.
EMP is going to come out, hits Punk and Halo. And with Color Hex falling, there is no hope for Boston now, unfortunately. Shockwave, you can imagine, is going to build up to a Bob in this fight with the amount of HP bars still currently left. Fusions takes to the skies after it gets purpled, ends up falling back down to Earth and back down to his spawn. And that will be Vancouver Titans taking first point. They should be able to get a fair bit.
Just take a team fight to knock the Titans off the high ground for starters.
Oh, that headshot to Jerry again, bro. Shockwave, Shredlock even just follows up instantly. Myungbong falls, he does get res, but Halo actually takes to the skies using his Valkyrie. I mean, now you're down an ult, and Halo even gets taken out by the Bob, adding another one to his stats. Fusions falls. This is it. The Coast Gun does so much work to stop a Winston from diving on your backline, and a little bit of extra damage to boot as well. Fusions ends up going down. Bob is hacked, and look how
so
sad Bob is when he's
so
hacked,
sad.
Bro. He's just sitting there all slumped over. Pure gamer posture. Unfortunately, he's going to fall to KSA, booping him off the bridge, and that will be it. Another Bob kill for Shockwave. Just adding to those stats. Oh my word, 4 minutes as well, like you said, because they comp swapped, so you can't res that. There's the EMP. Oh my god, Jerry just lining up. Oh, he's playing duck hunts. Dalton, Shockwave, dead. That's it, it's done. Go again. And Shredlock and KSA, I mean, he's using double shield. You can't really get instantly taken down when you get naded. And now Shockwave's in a good position. Punk also ends up falling after losing his mech. The Bob's going to do a whole bunch of work, but even Karkar saving his support in the backline. I mean, that's it. What else does Fusions do? Well, it's going to Shredlock, actually, as soon as I say that. The EMP is available for Boston Uprising as well, so still in a good position on the defense. Vancouver Titans have one more attack. However, those tank ults have eventually gotten built up. They've got supercharger, they got pushing it. It was an extra wheel, it made 7, so it can move a little bit faster. There's the flux. KSA manages to isolate Fusion as they move it forward. OT is here, but the kills are here for the Titans. Boston Uprising can't quite get it back. It was the Rolf doesn't get hit. Window comes out as well as that immortality field. A giant purple from Youngbone though. Both hit KSA and Shredlock to save them. Oh my word, that could have been disaster if Wolf managed to keep the rest of the team alive, but Myunbong setting up almost perfectly. Punk did lose his mech, but he's still on point, gaining capture percent, and they do res Myunbong as well, as they have the space to do so. Here's the tire, over the top, Dalton trying to find somebody, but Jerry ends up getting it. Well, actually, Jerry's Bob, it wasn't even Jerry.
Still respond. If he clutches out with the tire, it could be enormous.
Is it going to die again? That is the question. Carlex is already dead, though. There's the tire. Oh! That's a triple kill. That made up for every tire beforehand. Oh, great hack! Are you kidding me? If he dies now, this could be all over. Carlex taking a lot of damage, but Jerry and his Bob end up biting the dust. However, Halo at least gets the resurrection. But all the meanwhile, Carlex dies. Shockwave had the window straight in front of him, too. So 5 of his life and the position of his life as well. This is perfect for Winston to knock people away, but look at his health bar all down to sub 200 HP, and Dalton nails the tire straight on his head. Literally lodged it between his eyes, and that will be it. The Titans are going to be able to hold Boston Uprising just before the...
Although he put up his best effort, Jerry was unable to carry his team to victory, or even a map win, as the synergy from the Titans allowed them to have a clean and efficient 3-0 win over the Uprising. Dalton's play on May in Nepal was the perfect disruption, as the Titans were able to set up their double shield tank line and use the ultimate economy to benefit them and ensure that the team fights would swing in their favor. In Gibraltar, Shockwave initially had trouble with Jerry finding key picks, but some subtle positioning adjustments allowed the Titans to put 3 on the board and were able to counter the rest of the Uprising by keeping them to just 1 point. With the sweep in hand, the Titans looked to close things out in Eichenwald. Shockwave did the impossible by pushing the cart with his rip tire and was able to provide key team fight wins with Dalton and KSA, providing well-timed ults and clutch plays to deny any amount of resistance and to ensure that the Titans walked away with the shutout victory. Now, with one more task ahead of them, the question remains: will the Titans choose or be chosen? Now, their destiny in their own hands, the Titans go to battle against the LA Valiant.
Down to the open. Dropping down now from the high ground, and the Valiant have to be a little bit more subtle with how they try and out-position this Vancouver setup, which is ostensibly, Brent, much more solid, right? They got double shield, they got Batiste, they're straight chilling.
Yeah, it is nice and easy, actually, off the back of that, and it was the Holt accretion combo, KSA getting that opening pick, and yes, the res ended up to be traded out as well, but it seems like the Valiant have the better job of it. The damage boost on top of the nano boost, I think, was applied onto KSP, and he is rinsing the opposition. No one able to take him out here. Shockwave, though, trying to turn things into his team's favor here. The flashbang off onto the side. Nice little headshot there. Trick of the trade. And you'll find that they are getting so much opportunities. And the Vancouver Titans, I said, you cannot come into this match underestimating them. They have come up big. What a sleep coming in. McGravy going to be opting to use that self-destruct. It only takes out the supercharge, but sometimes that is all you need. Yes, the Vancouver Titans managed to flip that point over, but too little too late. You can see the Valiant are in control of the team fight off the back of these pickoffs. And I gotta say, I mean, KSP and KSF, what a deadly duo.
On a KSA, it has to be an instant immortality build for the Titans, and it ain't enough to stop them. The Valiant are playing from the position they want to be, Brent. They're in control of the point. They decide to pace, and they leap upon a beleaguered Titans time after time, and they get themselves a win here on Shrine after being very much behind the 8.
Quick play, but Rain goes to round number 2. Leaping from on high, a bit like Batman in that scene when he's in the shipping dock, jumping on bad guys. Doesn't get the value he's looking for. Still an even trade. It seems like the Vancouver Titans are the ones who are coming out on top, using that amplification matrix to get the damage in, take positioning, but KSP still around and still being a nuisance.
And they'll be able to push in here pretty comfortably in towards Rain, Lastro, and of course McGravy. Rain's able to find an environmental kill there, but it's not going to be enough. Maybe had Dreamer found a little bit more there. He will get removed. Vancouver Titans, although it's been pretty risky business now as McGravy is pressured down by KSA. Up in the air he goes as that accretion did hit, and he's ignoring Shockwave, who was just stood there. Lastro's able to find the kill. Dalton comes around the side and gets rid of the key healer now with the rip tire and a transcendence onto the point. Looking like a snow globe over there with the Vancouver Titans. Even it up here on the pole. And we're going to Village Brand. What you want to see a Rissa play. You want to hit the fortify before you get CC, but that's hard to do. And in come the Valiant for the top rope, Bren. Getting rid of Kako and Shockwave early.
Yes, Vancouver Titans should have taken one look at what the Valiant were running and decided, maybe we won't run the Junkrat. And you can see that they've decided to make this switch up here. Still going to start to contest this point, but it is just going to be a matter of time before the Valiant get control of it again. This composition that the Valiant are running, the amount of damage that the Vancouver Titans are going to be taking as they try and get through this choke point. Yeah, the damage boost layered on top. KSP is making quick work of any attempts for them to try and touch the point. The Immortality field down and out. McGrady with a quick little beat down in the corner. No one will escape him. Another hold here for the Valiant, and what a performance. It will mean that the Valiant are most likely here as we head into the tail end of this map, taking it away in a reasonably close fashion.
I mean, Rolf tries to give him a bit of a slurp down, but it's a little bit too little and too late. Nice pile driver there, makes it impossible for KSA to touch the point.
Struggling to find a foothold when KSP's holding down this angle.
Shockwave down early, KSS able to find him another kill, and that will be it. Again, it's the damage dealers of the Valiant that step up, and they open the way. KSP now, any extra kills is just a bonus because the writing's on the wall, and well, checkpoint A is over in a safe position, but hot tip, there aren't very many of those left. Dreamer getting rid of Dot now, so he had nowhere essentially left to run, and grouping up around the Supercharger means you group up to get Gravitic Flux. And shield is down for Shredlock, and now the Supercharger was exposed. KSF does not need to EMP here, just clean up the fight. And you know what's even scarier for the Titans than struggling on Havana Brand is that in general, very lucky that he was so quick to put his own shield to protect himself there, because it looks like KSP had his measure, but now the Titans were able to stay alive long enough. Valiant too long to get rid of Shredlock, and reinforcements have arrived.
And honestly, KSP had all the opportunities in the world to get a pick-up when they were trying to contest that.
Shockwave, gets absolutely smashed by those Hyperspheres. Rolf, though, did well to get that Transcendence off before the EMP came in, and this will again slow the Valiant up, Ren.
Spawners are coming in, but the way Lastro's playing, picking off these players, and KSP in the off angle, it's so hard for them to do. Karkar, though, with a beatdown. I feel like it could still be winnable for the Vancouver Titans, but with KSP not being taken out, it is just headshot city for him. Shot after shot after shot. And they're just going to glide that card into the final section.
That'll do it. KSP was in such a comfortable corner.
Yeah, just going to try and force positioning with the Bob here in this fight as it continues. Dreamer goes down though, and this is, the opening. The floodgates have finally happened.
I mean,
moment of enlightenment.
I can't believe that Dreamer must have such a cool mental to not be typing in chat right now. Next fight. That is not where you want one of your top players to be, but McGravy has no other choice. It's either do I die, do I stand here and look awkwardly off in the sunset as we lose the first checkpoint? I guess I'll just do both.
Yeah, he was in a very difficult scenario there. I mean, I don't know what the correct decision making is. Do you decide to die early and hope your team...
With the speed boost, get your team in position, but you're walking into an EMP. They're still getting so much value because Rolf is still able to get an Immortality field.
Yep. The Immortality field, the Am Matrix was laid down and actually just was perfect for the close quarters combat. I like the play by Valiant. It's too much damage.
Yeah, shoes on the other foot, but I mean, the Valiant are trying to hike with stilettos, and I'm telling you, it ain't gonna happen. McGravy tries to self-destruct there, but eventually will get removed from the picture, and Lastro doesn't even touch the card. So, the Vancouver Titans get through the map.
It's gonna be there to disjoin a couple of them, but Rain goes down early.
Oh, the Bayonet Shredlock!
Huge
He's not recovering
damage.
from that one. Dreamer frozen up though, and McGravy's going to come in now with that defense matrix, and guess who's back at it again? Not this time. KSP only gets the one kill, but it seems to be enough, especially with KSF comes out on the Doom Fist. And there it is, the Valiant.
Space, the shield seems to be on point. A good look at this early nano boost.
The Bionic Grenade! It's so
huge! Bionic Grenade comes in. Lastro, I believe that was an off angle he was taking. He paid for his life, but it's all good when you get 4 picks off the back of it. What a Shredlock there, but the Fortify kept him wedged firmly in place, but not enough. The damage is already done. He set up the plays for the rest of his team to come sweeping through. Now for the next team fight, they're looking even better because they've got that EMP, they've got the Nano Boost, they can just slap on the Nano Boost onto Dreamer.
Space, that self-destruct is concerning, but again, it has a limited range. KSP gets far enough away, and they get the headshot. Rolf falls as well. A body shot was all that was required to get rid of him. And now, despite what may be happening from the high ground from Shockwave, that car is very close to getting home. Dreamer just needs to move Shredlock off of the car a little bit, but he gets himself in the corner. Good positioning by Shredlock to stay there and to stall as long as he has, but It looks like it's futile, Ren.
Wiping them out. I mean, it's a risky resurrect. KSP back in the fight. One kill the D, make the headshots. Following up. This should not be a winnable fight for them in this moment. They've lost so many players, and yet they carry on. Bob now pushing this guard forward, contesting it.
Lastro forced. He forced Shredlock to shield away from KSP. KSP was able to work around the left-hand side, getting most out of their Mercy. And guess what? Nano Boost is available once more. So here's the cycling of those ultimates again. Dreamer goes in. They do lose Lastro early in the fight this time, but they're still in a very commanding position. Kaka has to use Val. So the Titans really need to find some value in this fight because they are spending big. Rolf might have to nano Shredlock here if things get too dicey.
Oh, huge plays though coming out from the Vancouver Titans here. They take out EMP. They want to collapse onto them here, Mitch.
Yeah, KSF and Dreamer went in once more and they found their target in Rolf. KSP's traded out. And the problem with this composition, Brett, is it doesn't tend to stand in the same spot very often. That's only an issue when you're defending. And off the point went the Valiant. All of their resources invested in tasks on the other side of the map. That'll be frustrating for them, but they still have a decent lead into the effects of that EMP. They'll be able to re-establish at this high ground, and the Titans don't really get the res they're looking for, right? It doesn't shift tempo in that fight! Are you kidding me? Quick two-piece from KSP, and he finds those heads, they roll, and the Vancouver Titans are in dire position now. Like coming out the womb and being thrown in the trash can, not a good feeling, I'm sure. 4 players EMP'd on the side of the Titans, and KSP gets to play much more aggressively now after that comes down. Into the next fight, they have probably another nano boost. Yeah, Shredlock's not going to get anything here. If KSP's been pocketed, he doesn't have the damage. It's just Tickle Me Elmo at this point. I don't know, man. And, you got to feel terrible as Shredlock. Something must have gone awry communication-wise there because he was going for a target on his own. There was no follow-up whatsoever. Dalton got an EMP, but it's way too late in the day. And the Vancouver Titans just look like they're fired up for a last big fight. They fizzle out in an odd manner. And there goes the series, the Los Angeles Valiant.
The Titans were unable to get the momentum going their way as the Valiant continue to prove that they are a team to not take lightly as we now head into the Overwatch League playoffs. KSP and KSF wasted no time depleting the Titans, playing aggressively and quickly. No time to set up, pivot, or recover. It seemed the Valiant also had something to fight for, as they were also fighting for 5th seed in NA. The Titans are playoff bound, and with the Houston Outlaws selecting the Boston Uprising, the Titans will face off against the Washington Justice. The Justice were busy with roster moves in the back half of the season, picking up former Titans Stitch and Janu for added depth, along with superstar DPS Decay. This new look Justice team are starting to get the clout of being a lower bracket dark horse, but will the retooling of these players and coaching staff have enough time to deal with your Titans? What will the Titans do to ensure they're ready for anything that the Justice can throw at them? Let's find out from our coaches themselves.
Now that they have picked up Decay, I mean, he's a star player. Like, he's somebody we need to worry about, but at the same time, we need to focus on all the things that we've learned throughout the season, whether it's like us 3 on staff, or even the players. So I think like we need to put it all on the table, and I think that's kind of the mentality of the team.
Obviously, like one of the harder matchups in like the lower group, but I think we're gonna be fine.
And with that, this is Titans This Week. What a season it has been for your Vancouver Titans, and let's wish them all the best as they begin their postseason journey. I'm your host, Abby Sherlock. Thanks for watching.